Welcome back, folks. I'm Frizz, and today I'd like to talk about what exactly Pathfinder 2e does with curses and diseases, since they're actually really cool. Seriously, they actually feel threatening for once, and that's a far cry from how they function in other TTRPG systems. While I've already made a video that goes over how diseases and poisons actually go about killing you, that's not actually why I think they're as intimidating as they are. Let's get into it. First off, the effects of pretty much every disease or curse are incredibly noticeable. In Pathfinder 1e, all diseases did was some ability score damage, which was incredibly easy to heal after a couple of levels. Pathfinder 2e changes things up by making the conditions affected by diseases or curses basically impossible to remove long term without removing the cause itself, which basically means you're going to be feeling the impact of those conditions throughout your entire day, no matter what. That isn't the main part of this, though. The main thing that I feel makes diseases and curses so intimidating in Pathfinder 2e is actually removing them. See, diseases can generally be removed only naturally over time by making fortitude saves, but if you're in a rush, there's only really one way to do it, which is the remove disease spell. It's even worse for curses, since the only way that curses can be removed is by effects that explicitly remove curses, which is basically just the remove curse spell or 10th level spells like Miracle. Remove disease is only available to divine and primal spellcasters, while remove curse is restricted to divine and occult spellcasters. Effectively, depending on your party makeup, you might not even have a way to remove these conditions or afflictions in any kind of timely manner. This actually makes curses and diseases amazing ways to make encounters more intimidating, since they have lasting consequences. Yeah, casting Spell Rack on a wizard might not immediately kill them, but it is going to dramatically inconvenience them, and nothing will put the fear of God in TTRPG players like inconveniences. Seriously, knowing that a creature has access to a particular curse or disease can dramatically increase the threat that encounters give off, because they have longer lasting impacts beyond the normal 10 or 20 minutes that parties are going to take after encounters to heal up. And just in case you're thinking you won't have to worry about curses or diseases if you have a cleric in your party, you're dead wrong. You just don't have to worry as much. See, remove curse and remove disease aren't guaranteed to work. You attempt to counteract the affliction that is affecting you, and the level of the spell matters a ton whenever you're attempting that check. Basically, if someone casts Spell Rack on a character, and your friendly neighborhood cleric tries to remove it with a level 3 remove curse spell, they're gonna have a pretty bad time. To have the best odds of success, you're going to want at least a level 6 remove curse to match the level 6 curse, and you're not always going to be able to get spellcasters who are powerful enough to do that. If you can't cast level 6 spells, it'll be harder to remove something like Spell Rack. And if you don't want to use a level 6 spell, then again, it'll be pretty difficult. If a curse is a major threat, then clerics are going to have to expend major resources like high-level spell slots to remove it. Now, a word of advice for GMs. If you're going to be throwing around curses or diseases at players, giving them a time crunch is the best way to make those feel impactful. But for curses, it's important that there's at least a way for them to get removed. If you cast Spell Rack on a PC, they probably aren't going to be very happy about it if there is literally zero way for them to get better again. You gotta give your party the carrot and the stick. I really like how curses and diseases work in Pathfinder 2e, since they actually feel like threats that you go out of your way to remove. You can't live forever anymore just by happenstance that there is a divine caster nearby who can prepare a couple of restorations every day, which is a huge improvement over Pathfinder 1e. Also, by removing the break enchantment spell, makes the impact of having a divine spellcaster much more obvious. Seriously, not having a cleric of any other kind of divine spellcaster is hugely impactful whenever you're afflicted by any kind of condition that needs to be removed ASAP. Thanks for watching. This video may or may not have come about because in a game that I'm in, we ran across a curse that my party literally had no way to remove without using a wish spell, but I still think it's interesting anyway. While I completely understand why a lot of people have problems with the cleric class, you really do feel the absence of divine spellcasters whenever they aren't there. What have your experiences been with curses or diseases been, and what's the most interesting one that you've seen mechanically? let me know in a comment down below. Regardless of that though, until I see you next, live a wonderful life.